All right, welcome back, folks. Um, I was just thinking about this on our break here. Um, I I think that I think tonight's topic is probably something we're not going to have an answer to for quite a long time, and the reason I think that is because uh, just calling things the way that they are. Human beings are incredibly arrogant, and I mean because we have this arrogant belief that we're like the highest life form in the entire universe. That that we're all that in a bag of chips because we have opposable thumbs. And like I've heard scientists and shit say this uh, also, that like we have what separates us from the animals. We have opposable thumbs and we have the ability to reason. See, that's bullshit. I have seen your garden variety pit bull, what is said to be one of the most dangerous domesticated dog breeds in the entire world, which is bullshit, by the way. I've seen one of those go through absolute horrors that would completely make a human being snap and turn around and give love and kindness. Animals in general are more capable of love and kindness and compassion than human beings any day of the week. And we're so arrogant and stupid that we see that as a weakness. That's not weakness. We're the ones who are weak because we are so convinced that we're on top of the food chain. That we're like the inheritors of the earth. We're not the inheritors of the earth, people. We're the caretakers. And we've done a horrible job of it. In fact, that's probably why aliens do visit us, because they want to see how fucked up we are. But there it is. That's a statement of fact. I've seen more kindness and compassion and love from animals than I've ever seen from a human being. And forgiveness. You know how many times I've seen like a pit bull, not just your average run of the day pit bull, but like a pit bull that actually was put into like a dogfighting ring, which is probably one of the biggest horrors any living thing could probably go through, and was still capable of love. And we see that as weakness. I don't understand that. And there's so much about the world today that I don't get. I wish I had like access to a reset button, and I could make us go back to like I don't know, like the 1800s, sort of, because like back then people were close. People like a community was actually a community. Nowadays with the invention of all this technology, like smartphones and everything, well, yeah, they're a great technological tool, but at the same time, they're like the death of us too, because it's like there's an entire generation of people who can't look you in the eye. They don't know how to communicate because communication to them literally is texting. I'm telling you right now, if I were in charge of the world, if I had my way, there would be no smartphones. So like all this technology would be gone. It'd be gone because we don't need it. You know, all it has done is turned us into basically sociopaths. Between that and the fact that we live in a society that is afraid to discipline their own fucking children, and then we're sitting back at the same time wondering why our prison populations are so overgrown, that's why. Because we're not teaching our kids consequences anymore. I'm telling you right now, and you could feel free to disagree with me or whatever, but if you really love your kids, fucking spank them when they do something wrong. Seriously. You know, and I know that's off topic and whatever, but there it is. And that's just how it is, you know, like, and that's probably why they come and visit us. They want to see how screwed up we are. Because we've taken all these gifts that we've had and we've fucked them up. That's the reality. We are breeding sociopaths right now. Because what a sociopath is somebody that doesn't know how to relate to society. Want to make a sociopath? I can tell you exactly how to do it. Don't discipline your kids and give them devices like smartphones that won't foster the sense of community. Want to be a part of a community? I think the Amish kind of have it right. To be honest about it, I do. And I know this is all off topic, and we'll get back to the topic here in just a minute, but I think the Amish kind of have it right in a way. I'm not saying all technology is bad or whatever, but like they know what a community is. If you want to bring people together, like really bring them together, they know how to do it. If they want like everybody to come around, they'll just have a barn raising. Hell, why not? You know, like and we've lost that. And so I'm sure that's why they come here and they're checking us out. And I think I don't think it's an accident that the more screwed up things get, the more they seem to come around. Seriously, in the past, going on 8 years now, or 7 years since Obama's been in office, they've been coming around and been cited more and more and more and more. Well, what do you think that is? Because we're not doing that good. So it's definitely not for that. So my theory is they're waiting for us to screw up so bad that they can just come here and take everything, or they're, you know, kind of just sitting back in horror, just watching us destroy ourselves. You know, because the reality is that's exactly what's happening. You know, we destroy ourselves, and it's not happening overnight, and it it'll probably come to a point where it's going to accelerate. That's just my opinion, but yeah. So you know, we like to think that we're all superior, but the reality is we're not. We are not even superior to animals. We like to think we are, but we're not. Because here's the truth. Yeah, most animals don't have opposable thumbs and therefore can't grab things and make tools. Yeah, that much is true, but what has having tools really done for us? Not all that much if you really think about it. And we like to think that we're so much smarter than they are, but here's the truth. And this is indisputable. You can't argue with this. You do not see dogs fucking each other over for a percentage. You don't see animals tearing each other apart over religious beliefs. You don't see animals killing each other because one lives on the east and one lives on the west. You don't see it. Because they're not the ones fucking up this world. We are. So that brings to mind the question, well, if that's why aliens are coming here, and aliens are in fact alive, then they must have ghosts too. But if they have ghosts too, where are they? Because they're not here. At least not that we've ever seen. I see spirits and I've never seen an alien ghost. But I believe that they're real. And well, okay, look. To me, it is just simple reality that every living thing has a spirit. For me, that's a statement of fact. That's my reality. I can't change people's mind. I can only state what I believe, what I think, and hope to open it. You know, and if people agree with me, then great. If people don't agree with me, then great. You know, that's kind of how it is. But I I think that if we were to actually be allowed to go and investigate um, the site of the crash in 1947 that kind of spawned everything, you know, in White Sands, New Mexico, or Roswell or wherever the hell it was. I think if we were actually allowed to go onto that spot and investigate, I'd be willing to bet that we could probably come up with evidence saying, yeah, aliens have ghosts too. I know for a fact that animals do. I can show you evidence that we've collected of animal spirits. So if there's animal spirits, why can't there be alien ones, or Bigfoot ones, or uh, anything else for that matter? So it's all about it all becomes a question of what do you believe. You know, I believe that every living thing has a spirit. I know it, for myself. That is something I know. And no one is. That's something no one has ever convinced me, otherwise. It's just it's reality for me. It's as real as the air that we breathe. Let's put it like that. So, yeah, it all becomes a question of what you believe. And I think honestly and just logically, if you believe in ghosts, you have to believe in the other stuff too, because I don't know. That's just my opinion. Anyways, let me check what's going on in chat, see if anybody's got any questions yet. Nope. Okay. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring up something. I'm going to bring up. Let me see if I can find it real. And this is oh my god. This is kind of what I'm talking about with these ultra conservative Christian types. Oh, well, ghosts aren't real, aliens aren't real. They're just demons trying to trick you. I just saw an article about that. But there's all sorts of articles about this. Are aliens really dead people or human spirits? No, I don't believe that personally. Um, are aliens and spirits one of the same thing? No. Ghosts, spirits, and aliens, is there any connection? Well, most people think of ghosts and spirits as one and the same thing. Yeah, because they are. Nobody's really done any kind of like serious study of this, like nobody's really attempted to answer the questions I'm talking about tonight. I mean, there's all sorts of articles here, about um, are ghost are aliens really ghost, yada yada yada. No, don't be ridiculous. Seriously, like, oh my god. Hey, seriously, and maybe this will sound arrogant for me to say or whatever, but honestly, I'm surprised and shocked and just taken aback a lot of the times by the stupidity of humans, of people. I really am. And I mean, because like it seems to me like I'm the only person thinking about this stuff. I'm the only person who, coming at it from this angle. Well, do ghosts or do aliens have ghosts too? I think every living thing does. And so, if we accept that aliens are real and therefore are alive, stands to reason, unless they're immortal and they never die, there's going to be ghosts of them somewhere if we accept that ghosts are also real, which I do. And I think, like, the majority of my listeners are at least open minded enough to accept the possibility. But it just, oh my god, it confounds me how arrogant and stupid and just straight up ignorant people can be. And when I say people, I don't mean like individually. I mean as a whole. Because there's like a whole society of people that are alive today that think, uh, think that our government actually gives a shit about us. That there's an entire society of people that think Obama's got our best interest at heart. There's an entire society of people that won't stand up and vote for the shit that really matters, but will absolutely lose their minds if they don't vote on American Idol or on The Voice. Which I get, because they're great shows, don't get me wrong. I watch The Voice myself, but it's just the point that, like, we're better than this. And I think if you look at it logically and yet with an open mind, you're gonna see that if aliens are in fact real and they are alive, then they have to leave behind ghosts. They have to. I mean, like, to my way of thinking, if something is alive and it died, there's a spirit involved somewhere. And like I've said multiple times, you can disagree with me if you choose, but I think that if you do, then you're kind of part of the problem. Just my personal opinion. Because I gotta say something, okay? When I decided to do this topic tonight, I didn't know it was gonna turn into this, okay? But I'm kind of glad that it did, because I have a very high standard for myself. I have a very high standard for my team, Ghost of Paranormal. I have a very high standard for this radio show. I have a very high standard for my web series and my radio station and all of it. I have a very, very high standard for it, and I think about things differently. That I don't think that's a secret by this point. Okay, so I think that if you're the kind of person that believes that ghosts exist, but you don't believe in the possibility even of aliens, then you're a jackass and you're fooling yourself. Because you're either open-minded or you're not. It's one of those things where there's no gray area. There really isn't. It's not that I'm just sitting here saying there's no gray area. I mean it. There is no freaking gray area. And I think that's a big problem in society. Not just with the paranormal, but with everything. I think people are spending too much time picking and choosing, the gray areas. And it's really not gray. There's right and then there's wrong. There is no in between. You know, I just read an article today, in fact, that what's his name? The country singer. Um, oh God, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Hold on, let me pull up the thing real quick. A country singer is a part of a benefit for gun control. Huh? Seriously? You're gonna tell me there's a redneck out there that wants to control the guns? First of all, okay, I'm a Tim McGraw will headline an anti-gun benefit concert. Seriously? Seriously? Let's be real about something. This is I'm convinced that shootings like Sandy Hook and the shooting in Aurora, Colorado, the Batman shooting, were set up. And the reason I think that is it is not a coincidence that just a few months before Obama was pushing for gun control legislation, he basically wanted to repeal the Second Amendment. So right here I want to say two things. These are things that you've probably heard before. The first one is, if you take away the guns, the only people who will have them are going to be the crooks, the bad guys. Because gun control doesn't affect them. They will still get their guns because they're already getting them illegally. So if you legislate gun control, the only people it's going to affect is the good, honest, legal gun owners that have nothing to do with any of this shit. So that's the first thing I'm going to say. The second thing I'm going to say is probably something you've heard before too, but it's the absolute truth. And every single person that thinks gun control is a good fucking idea, if it were my show, my way, I would knock you right in your mouth. Because this is absolute truth, which is the reason why it was said in the first place. And I believe it was Benjamin Franklin who said it. Those who trade liberty for security deserve neither. And I'm sorry here, folks. I know I'm getting off on a little tangent here, and whatever. It's my show. I can do what I want. The fact of the matter is I have fought, and I have bled, and I swore at one point to defend the Constitution and this country against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. And the reality is, it's those people that are supposed to be doing exactly that right now are being told, as soon as they join the military, to ignore their oath. The reason why they're being told that is because they want to take the guns away. Let me spell this out for you. Okay? Taking our guns is not a good thing. Taking our guns leaves us defenseless for what they are planning next. And if you don't think they're not planning something, you have not been paying attention. Let's look at the facts, shall we? It is a fact that it is an impossibility, a physical, structural, architectural impossibility that two planes hitting above the 40th floor would have completely collapsed the World Trade Towers. It's a fact. In other words, in order to make them collapse the way that they did, they would have had to have been completely imploded, which could not be accomplished by a couple of planes hitting the buildings. It is a physical impossibility. Which means they lied to us. Okay? So if they lied to us about that, what else have they lied about? We already know for a fact that they knew about 9/11 almost a year before it happened, and oh, well, everybody just forgave them for that shit. Stop believing everything you see on TV. Stop believing every word out of the politician's mouth, because it's all bullshit. Here's the fact of the matter. This is the reality. You ready for this? You better be. Because this is the reality, folks. You can think I'm full of it or whatever. I don't care. Because the fact is I'm doing everything that I can possibly do just by telling you this. They want it all for themselves. Everything you own, everything you have spent your entire life trying to achieve, they want to take away from you. And I know what you're going to say. Who are they? Well, it's very simple. It's the same they that is behind everything in government. It's the elite, the 1%. Okay? These are people that the only thing they know is greed. And greed is wanting more, regardless of how much you already have. More property, more money, more this, more that, more everything. And now we're at a point where there really is no more. So now they want to take yours. They want it all for themselves. That's just the facts. These are people that never learned how to share. And the reality is these are the people who've been running our government for about 20 years now. These are the people that have been, that basically violated the Constitution to put George W. Bush into office in the first place. Yeah, that's right, folks. That's a verifiable fact. You can look that up yourself. He actually lost both of his elections, and Congress violated the Constitution both times to put him in office. It's a fact. So you can believe everything you see on Fox News. You're deluding yourself. That's just the fact. You are deluding yourself if you think that your safety, your security is their number one concern. It isn't. It was all manufactured to get you to sacrifice your liberty, your freedom for security, so that they can justify making your stupid ass arrive 2 hours early just so that they can physically and emotionally violate you in an airport. That is the reality. And if you don't see that, then you are part of the problem and need to step aside. Because I'm telling you, it's coming. There's going to be something big in this country. They are trying for martial law by next year. And if you're not adequately scared by just that, let me explain to you what martial law is. Martial law means that they can come into your home without a warrant. Martial law means that they can shoot you down in the street with no justification. Martial law means that they can round you all up and stick you in camps, much like the Nazis did with the Jews. That is martial law. And they are already planning on pulling that off in this country to take away your means of defending yourself, which is guaranteed to you by the Second Amendment, which is what the majority of you dumbasses are pissing on. And I know there's some, especially in my audience right now, that are very aware and very awake to what is going on in the world, and bless you and thank you for being here. I am talking to the rest of you numbnuts that think that your votes actually mean shit. I'm talking to the rest of you that think they have your best interest at heart. I am talking to the rest of you that think unified health care is a good idea. I'm talking to the rest of you that are actually thinking it's a good idea to wear the mark of the beast, as the Christian Bible put it, and have your children implanted with tracking chips. I'm talking to the rest of you that think smartphones are a good thing. They are not. Did you know that a smartphone doesn't even have to be on? You can have it turned completely off, and they can turn on the microphone and the camera to spy on you. In fact, they have. That's what was bought by the Patriot Act. You think that your security is worth sacrificing your liberty? Wake the fuck up, people. We already had this shit under control. Do you realize that United States Army Delta Force, Navy SEAL Team 6, the counter-terrorist unit of the FBI, already had in place a means to not only prevent, but track down and destroy terrorists all over the world? And because you people were so afraid by the bullshit that was 9/11, that you actually passed the Patriot Act, which enabled the Department of Homeland Security to even exist, fucked it all up. If Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, NCTU were still covering that shit, there would be no terrorism. In fact, the entire time that it was their fucking job, no terrorists ever set foot on American soil. That is the fact. And the fact that most of you out there were too blind to see that shit and allowed all of this to happen means that you're a dumbass. And you are probably going to be the ones that deserve what's going to happen next. But I'm promising you this. No matter whether you're white, black, Latino, Native American, Chinese, it doesn't frickin' matter. If